Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now I know I haven't uploaded in about a month and sorry about that, but I've actually been really busy with school and stuff like that, and the winter break just passed and I was actually on vacation away from my whole setup. But enough of the excuses. With that all being said, let's get into today's video. So today I'm going to be talking about who I think are the top rookies in the NBA and whether or not I think they have a chance to win the Rookie of the Year this season. Now, I'm not saying they will win it, but I'm just saying these are the top rookies and the ones who I think have the most chance. So without any more further talking, let's get started. Now the first one on my list, and I just wanted to warn you guys, this list is in no particular order whatsoever. The order of this list is not matter at all. It doesn't come into play at all. But so first up we have Jayson Tatum. Now the thing is, Tatum, he wasn't doing that good at the start of the season. I don't think you could say that, but as of recent, Jayson Tatum has really picked it up and he's become a way bigger threat than he was. And he's actually gained a lot of hype, and I think he's actually doing pretty well. He's a lot more than just a three-point shooter now, because I think he's really being able to attack the paint more, and that obviously helps because he's being more explosive, and he has also improved his defense in my opinion. And now the thing is, this will be of great help to the Celtics, who I still don't think are getting past the Cavaliers this season, but Jayson Tatum was definitely a great scoop up for them in the draft, and I think that he is really going to be a key piece of the Celtics team moving forward, if he wasn't already. Now let's just quickly take a look at his last 3 games. So on January 4th, he played the Cavaliers and he dropped 15 points that night and had 5 rebounds. Now he was a bit off. He was 6 from 14 from field goal, and in the next game against the Timberwolves, he only had 4 points and 3 rebounds. And then in the most recent game, at the time that I'm recording this video, against the Brooklyn Nets, he had 14 points and he was 6 of 15 from field goal. Now the thing is, I know those numbers aren't exactly good, and honestly I think they're actually below average, but you have to understand, throughout this season he's averaging 13 points per game, well 13.9 actually, so almost 14 points, and he's playing 31 minutes and he's shooting 49.8% from the field and 46% from 3. He's also averaging 5 rebounds along with that, and a steal and an assist. Now I would say for rookies, those are great numbers, and you have to look at how much he's playing per game, and he's playing about 31 minutes, so it doesn't surprise me that he's been struggling a little bit as of late, because obviously for a rookie, playing that much is going to come as sort of a shock to his body. But I think he's overall having a pretty great season, and he is definitely in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. Now next up we have Ben Simmons. Of course, there's no way I was going to let this video go by without mentioning Ben Simmons, and right now I think he has the best case so far to win Rookie of the Year. Once again, I'm not saying he will, but I think that he has the best case so far, and honestly he's actually making a case for the All-Star game, although I'm not sure how probable that is. Now in his last 3 games, he scored 21 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals. And then against the Spurs, he scored 26 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and another 3 steals. And then most recently, at the time I'm recording this video, he scored 19 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 steals. Now once again, we should look at how often he's playing and how much he's playing per game, and he averages 35 minutes a game, 16.9 points, and he's 51% from the field, and I think that is actually pretty great. Now on top of that, he's really averaging 8.4 rebounds and 7.5 assists and about 2 steals. And if you look at those numbers for a rookie, and even for any NBA player, those are pretty amazing statistics, especially once you bring in that this is his first season. I think Ben Simmons is doing amazing. If I had to give him a player comparison, I think I'd probably say LeBron James. Now once again, I'm not saying Ben Simmons is the next LeBron James or anything like that, but I'm just saying they have a pretty similar play style because Simmons is an oversized point guard. He's actually 6'10", that's his listed height, but he can do everything. He can score, he can get into the paint, he can rebound, and he can get assists, and he can play some defense. Now, the one and main area I think he needs to improve on is his jump shot, but honestly, even without that, he's having a pretty good season, and honestly, I think that's great, and he's doing pretty well this season. And he's doing pretty well this season, and I think he is definitely a candidate for Rookie of the Year. Next, we have Lonzo Ball, and I know, he might not be doing the best this season, but I couldn't let him go by. Otherwise, the GOAT LeVar Ball would get mad at me. But anyway, Lonzo Ball, at first, we all know he was struggling like crazy, and he was doing pretty horrible. But as of late, he's actually picked it up. I mean, let's look at his last 2 games that he's played. So, he played against the Hornets on January 6th, and he scored 11 points, 4 of 8 from the field, and he hit 3 3-pointers, he had 4 rebounds, and 5 assists, and 2 steals. And then against the Hawks, he had 13 points, 5 of 13 from the field, he hit another 3 3-pointers, and he had 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. Now finally, over this entire season so far, he's averaging about 10 points, 35% from the field, and 30 from 3, and then 6.9 rebounds and 7 assists. Now, I know that might seem like a lot of stats to take in at one time, so let me just tell you this. Lonzo Ball obviously was struggling, but now he's picked it up, and I'm not going to say he's at the top of the whole thing at all, but I think he's definitely doing better, and he's starting to sort of seem a bit more, I guess you could say, average. Now, I would say I really am not sure if he's going to win Rookie of the Year, and honestly, I would have to say no. I don't think he's going to win it, but he's actually really picked it up. After Lonzo, we have Donovan Mitchell, a player who came out of nowhere to completely take every one of us by surprise. On the season, he's averaging 18 points. He's shooting 43% from the field, 35% from the 3, and he's averaging about 3 assists, 3 rebounds, and 1.5 steals. Now, the main thing about Mitchell is that he can score. In his last 3 games, he scored 24 points, 15 points, and 27 points. Now, Donovan Mitchell, I would say scoring is his main thing, as he only gets about 3 rebounds and let's say about 4 to 5 assists a game, which is good, but I think Donovan Mitchell can actually shoot the ball like crazy. And I think he is definitely a surprise, and he might just win Rookie of the Year with the story he has. Now, Mitchell, one of the things I think he needs to improve on is passing the ball a little bit more. But he is a shooting guard and not a point guard. I mean, he can play both, but he mainly plays shooting guard, so I don't think that's too big of a concern for him. But overall, Donovan Mitchell, with the amount of points he's putting up and how efficient he's doing it at, how efficiently he's shooting 43% from the field, I think he definitely has a chance to win Rookie of the Year. Now, the final player I'm going to be talking about is Dennis Smith Jr. I think he's one of the few rookies, besides maybe Ben Simmons, who's been keeping it pretty well throughout the entire season, and he's being consistent. He's averaging about 14 points, 40% from the field, 33% from 3, and about 4 rebounds and about 4.5 assists. Now, the thing is, in his last 3 games, he scored about 14 points, 15 points, and 11 points, while getting about 3 rebounds a game and about 7 to 8 assists a game. Now, the thing is, that's actually pretty good for a rookie, obviously, and it might seem I've been saying this throughout the whole video, but once again, this player, he can really score the ball. And another thing about him is that he's extremely explosive, which I think can really help out a team. But he's been pretty consistent. Not much to say about him, but I think he's a pretty solid player, and he definitely has a chance. So before I tell you guys who I think is going to end up winning Rookie of the Year, let me just give 3 quick honorable mentions, and those are going to De'Aaron Fox, Lauri Markannen, and Kyle Kuzma, who have all had a pretty good rookie year so far. And while I don't think they have a chance to win Rookie of the Year, I do think that they are solid rookies with a bright future. Now finally, I think that the rookie who's going to win Rookie of the Year will definitely have to be Ben Simmons, with how well he's playing and how well he can do even though he really doesn't have a jump shot. And I think that's amazing in the modern NBA, and with the numbers he's putting up, I think he definitely will end up being the Rookie of the Year. But anyway, everybody, that's about it for today's video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.